Hey, AP Stat students, hope you're doing well this morning and you're ready for this final week of getting ready for your exam this coming Friday. So just a couple of reminders. Today you should have hopefully completed already. If not, please do it today. There were 3 of the 25-minute longer FRQs that you did last week, as well as 1 of the 15-minute ones. Hopefully you've done them and you've corrected them. The videos that go over them are useful to watch, but not required, but make sure you've at least looked at the solutions. And then I would also like you to do the practice exam, and please turn that in today so that I can grade it tomorrow. If you turn it in late, I may not be able to grade it for you in a timely manner. So please turn it in on time today so that I can give you some feedback on those tomorrow. Again, that practice exam is just an example of what it could be. It's certainly, not going to be exactly like the exam in any way, other than kind of the structure of it. But hopefully, again, I'm going to give you a sense of the types of questions and the timing of it also. So also, as you upload that, please try and practice uploading it in the same way that you might do on the actual exam. So for this week, there is no required work. I'm going to leave it up to you to really figure out what you need to do to prepare. So I'm asking you to work hard and do whatever you need to do. I am not going to require any work from you other than to actually take the exam on Friday. If you're not planning to take that exam, please let me know, and there's going to be an alternative exam that you're going to do on Friday in Google Classroom. Those of you that are taking the AP exam, College Board is going to send me your responses, so I'm going to use that as kind of your final exam for AP Stat. So I'm going to just share with you some resources and reminders today about some different things to help you prepare. So you want to make sure that you've printed out this checklist from the College Board. It kind of goes through everything that you should have to prepare for the exam. Please practice the demo. Last week, there were a number of students that had issues with uploading their work and now they need to take the makeup exam in June, which is not the end of the world, but certainly not what you would prefer. So really make sure you've done the demo. You may not upload files that are in this format, the HEIC, which is what iPhones do as a default. If you go directly from your iPhone, that's the format that it's going to be. So you can change it on your phone. You can also, once you email that or you put it up on a Google Drive, it's going to change the format to a JPEG. So you can certainly do that, but just going directly from your phone, if you don't change the format, it's not going to work. So there's a link here to a number of troubleshooting tips. I would read through those and really just make sure that you've done everything that you can do to do the best job uploading your work. There's also thousands and thousands and thousands of students who've done this successfully. So don't stress out about it, but do make sure that you're prepared about that. The College Board also sent an email this weekend that you should have received that said that they're adding an option for this week that if you have an issue with uploading, they're going to allow you an option to email your responses right away, like within the first 5 minutes after the exam, as another option. So be aware of that. And if worse comes to worse and something really happens with the technology and your upload, you will just get a ticket to retake the exam in a couple of weeks. So not the end of the world, but definitely you want to try and prevent that if you can. So let me know if you have any questions about that. The College Board has a ton of information on their website, so make sure you've read over all of that and you're well prepared. So you also want to make sure that your calculator is charged, you have your formula sheets and tables printed. Any notes or summaries that you want to use, have them easily accessible. If I were you, I would try and do this either on a really big table or in your room, kind of you maybe lay things out on your bed or your floor so that you can kind of access things really easily and you know where to find things, or you can have things right in a binder right there, whatever's going to work for you. But you don't want to be gallivanting and going into a different room and trying to find things in the moment. So really try and have everything you need there. This week, work on what you think you want to have accessible. What would be useful to you? Think about, as you've been doing the practice, what are some things that would have been useful to you as you're doing that? Also this week, please ask for help. You can reach out on email. You can do a one-on-one Zoom with me. You can form a group of people to do a Zoom with me. I have a very flexible schedule this week, so other than doing some grading and preparing for next week, I have time to meet with you. So please don't hesitate to reach out and ask for that. If you have any unfinished assignments, it would be helpful to go back and do those that might help you to study. There's also, this link here has a number of AP tips that the Stats Medic has been putting out on their Twitter for the last few weeks, and there's some good tips, so I would read through those. There's also this video that was made by Starnes and Tabor, who are the authors of the textbook that we've been using a lot, and they go through their top 10 tips for the exam. This is a prediction by the Stats Medic people about what they think is going to be on the exam. Again, these are not required, but might be helpful to you and to kind of give you some peace of mind about what to expect. The other thing that you should do is if you have any meetings on Friday, you should email your teachers and excuse yourselves from those. I really don't think that you should be expected to go to any Zoom meetings on Friday at all. And so if you have any issues with that, excusing yourself, I'm happy to email your teachers. Again, if you're not taking the test, please just make sure that you let me know that, and so that I can send you the alternative exam on Friday. And following the exam, you're going to have hopefully a super relaxing weekend, and then starting next week, we are going to do a little project that's going to culminate everything that we've done over the course of the year, but we'll give you more details about that then. So while I said there is nothing that's required, there are two things that I would highly recommend that you do this week. The first is, well, both of these are two mock exams that were put together by the College Board. The first one in particular, I think is really, really good. So that would be the number one thing I would do. This would be the number two thing I'm going to do. They'll each take you 45 minutes to do. So it's not a huge time commitment. And then the solutions are here. And then this is also a video explanation from YouTube, the College Board YouTube. So again, these are helpful, I think. They give you some kind of background, but not required. If you want to save some time, you can just look at those solutions. Here are a few other resources that I put together. I found this that kind of talks about why we check conditions that we've talked about over time, but that might be a helpful thing for you to read or perhaps even print out. This is, again, a link to all the College Board review videos that they've made over the last 6 weeks or so. So definitely if there's something that you feel like you need more help with, I would highly recommend watching some of those. And then here are a few more mock exams. A number of AP Stat teachers have created mock exams and made them available to people. So you can click on that link and it'll give you some more. But I would say that these two would be the first two that I would do because they are the best ones, I think. All right, so just a couple, I guess, last minute reminders about the exam on Friday. The exam is at 11 a.m. You want to make sure you're logged on by 10:30. You want to prepare your paper ahead of time. You need your AP ID, your initials, and page numbers. You can submit up to 5 pages for each question. You want to use lined or blank paper. Don't use grid paper. And you want to use a dark pencil, blue or black ink. Write only on one side of each page. Otherwise, it kind of bleeds through when it's scanned or you take a picture. It's harder to read. Cross out neatly and clearly if necessary. Don't waste your time erasing anything. So you really want to try and make your work as easy for the reader to read as possible, because speaking from my own experience, it puts them in a better mood if it's easier to read. If it's difficult to read, they're less likely to be looking for the correct information. So it's in your best interest to make it as easy for them to read as possible. Also, the quality of your picture. Please try and find a well-lit space that doesn't necessarily have an overhead light, because that creates a lot of shadows. Make sure that it's vertically oriented, and try and take up the whole shot with your work. There shouldn't be all kinds of unnecessary background, because then they have to zoom in more, and then a lot of times the quality of the picture is not very good. So really practice this week taking high quality pictures of your work, when scans are actually even better. This is really important. Make sure that you don't try and submit early. You need to wait until the timer turns to red in the last 5 minutes before you submit, and make sure that you actually do submit within those 5 minutes. So some students apparently ran into issues because they tried to submit early and that caused a problem. So don't submit early. Hopefully you should be working and writing the whole time. If you found that you finished really early, that probably means that you didn't answer the questions as well as you could have. So go back, use your time. There's nothing better for you to be doing during that time. So really use all of your time. Don't be lazy. Write your work out clearly, and make sure you communicate all of your thinking that's in your head on your paper. Remember, the reader does not know you. They don't know what you know. So you need to put down everything you know on your paper. You want to make sure you get a good night's sleep, have a good breakfast, do something relaxing in the morning, prepare your workspace, and try and just get yourself into a super calm space before you take the exam. It's kind of nice that it's at 11 a.m. It gives you plenty of time to just kind of get organized and relax and also get a good night's sleep. So good luck, do your best. You've all worked really hard and you deserve to do well, and I wish you the best, and I really wish I could be there with you this week and also afterwards to kind of celebrate with you. So anyway, have a relaxing weekend. Work hard this week. Please reach out if I can help you with anything, and I'm thinking of you all. Okay, bye.